down $20,000 my first 2 years. Was down $20,000 my first 2 years.
Several months later.
Was at what, 30K on the side account?
Yeah.
30K. In a week and a half, I managed to pull that 30K up to 101,000.
The last 10 years, I've been teaching people in the trading space. I've been trading for a long time. In an industry where most people fail, I've been able to find success. Now, I decided to start teaching about 10 years ago. And since that time, I've been able to actually raise traders from zero to something. Now, at the end of the day, it's not going to be everybody. Every single industry out there that's skill-based has huge failure rates. But the whole goal was to put your best foot forward, try your best, right? Give them great information, be connected with the people who are actually paying you to teach them something. Try to do it differently than everyone else out there. I've built my business based off of student results. My brand cannot grow based off the results of students, then there's nothing to do here. I am not good enough as an educator to be able to teach people if the only person that I can talk about is me. Now, if you go through my YouTube page and you find some of the fake pages out there that have my face on them, you will see a lot of videos of my own personal results. I've won awards, I've been on leaderboards, I've done different things through the years, but for the most part, I kind of focus on what my students are doing. I just think that makes more sense. I've always thought that makes more sense. Why would you buy a product if Michael Jordan was teaching people how to play basketball, but he's the only one making buckets and everybody around him is trash? Why would you buy that course just because it's branded by Michael Jordan? We already know Michael Jordan is good. It's me, 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 me. But what about all those people who have bought your course? A screenshot here and there is not enough. A person that made $500 on a Monday, you never hear about them again, is not enough. If you go to my Instagram, you're going to find a lot of follow-ups. You're going to find similar names. When you watch my Instagram stories, because I post on there 90% of the time, you're going to see names over and over again. You're going to see reviews over and over again. These people have learned the art of trading, and they connect it to someone who taught them right here. This testimonial for today, his name is Andy. Last year at this time, he made 6 figures in the market. Now, for most people, they're going to hear this and they're going to say, he's full of shit, not real, can't be real. And I would agree with you. If I was trying to learn how to trade in this environment, it would be impossible to trust anybody because everyone is an expert in this space. But the difference with my testimonials, and I think most of them out there, is that these people have no financial connection to me. This is not some, when they do well, I get paid more or some marketing thing. This is strictly, I educated them and they gave me the documentation, the screenshots, the go ahead. Or for Andy, he did a whole podcast with me last year, where we discussed his journey, right? So Andy last year made $120,000, $130,000 in I think it was 2 months, something along those lines. We're going to recap and see, is he still doing well? Is he still making money? What kind of money is he making? We're going to find out once again where Andy started. Because I think for most people, when they hear these different skill sets, what they're looking for is fast money. This would be the wrong space for that. Most people don't understand that you're not even supposed to come into this space money hungry. You're supposed to have some sort of foundation already in your life. Personally, like I said, I've been teaching people for 10 years, and what I've realized is that the best people already have stability in their lives. Something, whether they do Uber, whether they're doctors, whether they're lawyers, a model, a nurse, a college student with a side gig, you can't rely on trading to make you fast money because it's probably not going to happen. If I had to bet money on whether or not you're going to be able to get lucky and sustain that in your first year, I would bet against you each and every single time. Because the truth is, from my perspective, I know it takes 2-3 years to just get some sort of something in between your ears and some sort of foundation under your feet. I know it takes a long time. This is not something that's supposed to be easy. Money that's made at this velocity shouldn't be simple. No industry would you walk into and believe that just because you've bought some courses or just because your friend made some money investing into some crypto or buying some gold or taking some trades, that there's going to be easy money to be made. If the world worked like that, everyone would be making money. And honestly, if it worked like that, it wouldn't make as much money as it does. So the first thing that I want to show you is a conversation on Telegram that I had with Andy. And basically, he was sending me videos from Snapchat that show where he was back in 2020. videos that show $20 accounts, him working $20 accounts. Now, mind you, 4 years after this point, he didn't know he was going to be making $100,000 in the market and then some, right? We stopped tracking it after a while, but he was up 100, 120,000. The numbers that he was dealing with in 2024 and that he deals with now, very different than this. A certain amount of growth has to be understood. Again, many people want to learn how to make money in the market, but don't think about, can you even handle seeing that type of drawdown? Can you handle allowing thousands of dollars to float around? If you make $1,000 in your job, you're going to have a tough time allowing $1,000, $2,000 to be in drawdown, not executing your trade how you're supposed to be doing. Making that type of money isn't an accident, right? Unless you made it in one shot, a certain amount of development has to exist there in order for you to be able to even sustain those numbers. The next screenshot that he sent me is this $100 account that was blown. You could see some of these craptastic trades that he took. This was back in 2020 February, right? And then we were talking about other things, and eventually he sent me this. He left $5,000 in an account after withdrawal, and he ended up making $30,877.30. So $30,877.30. This is someone who's 24 years old. This is someone that was learning while he was in nursing school. This is someone that has a career and also is making money through the market. This is a big deal. I think for too many people, they look at it as, oh, it's just numbers. It doesn't mean anything. Well, my job and what I wanted to do is to show you this is a real human being with parents, right? With the mother, with drama, with love in his life, with happiness in his life, vacationing, stress, school, just like anybody else's life, right? People think that somehow this is like some magical situation that just popped up out of thin air. No, trading is like any other skill. You have to build it. And just because you're doing it doesn't mean you're going to be the best. In my community with my students and my clients, I tell them all the time, just because we're all playing basketball in the gym, it doesn't mean we're all going to the NBA. That is something that I think not enough people think about. So what I like to do is start with goal one. Goal one is to match your check. Goal one is, how much do you make a week? You work 40 hours a week, you make $1,000 a week, let's just say. That means that $1,000 to you is important because you give up your time every single day, every single week in order to make this check. So let's not aim for $1 million right now. You're not going to make that. It's not going to be possible. What you need to think about is, how can I give myself extra income, right? Think of it as a bonus or a way to get rid of the extra gig work or the overtime, or maybe give yourself a better environment. Take a vacation. Have that meal you've been wanting to have with your wife, right? Take your kids out, whatever. Climb out of debt. That's how I like to think about it in the beginning for students. Let's deal with goal one. Let's show you that this is real. Let's prove concept, right? And even that is going to take time. Remember, earn the right to believe that this should give you these massive numbers. You have to even earn the right to believe that you should make anything. It's going to take time. So like I said, you've just seen him go from a person who was trading $50 accounts, $20 accounts, $100 accounts, blowing those accounts to doing stuff like this. Remember that 5K I left in? $30,877.30. All right, and that's it. That's the testimonial. Let's continue the video. By the way, if you have questions, please comment below, like, subscribe, comment below so that we can continue this conversation. To remind you that Andy gets absolutely nothing from allowing us to talk about his success. He doesn't have a community. He doesn't teach people, right? There's no like trickle down payments. There's no commissions or ranks or any of that. He wants what I want, which is to grow the brand. Because I'm not saying that I know everything, and I'm not saying that I got the secret sauce. Secret sauce doesn't exist in trading. What I have is experience and an understanding of what you need to do with people in order to teach them this and give them a fair chance in this industry. That's it, right? Be honest with people. Let them know this is not going to happen overnight. Let them know you depositing thousands of dollars that you can't afford to lose is not the right play. Let them know that just because the market is doing something in an erratic fashion, like a highly volatile crypto time or one-sided gold or one-sided GJ or whatever, just because some people have made money doing a certain action in the market, it doesn't mean that you're going to do that, that your time will come, that you're putting pressure on this every single day as if I don't get this in 60 or 90 days, I'm going to quit, like that's the right approach. Let them know that this isn't the right approach. You shouldn't even start. Let them know that your attitude towards this is really going to matter. If you set certain timelines and certain expectations based off of what? Air? Because you have no knowledge. So how would you know how long this is going to take? Why would you make up these fake timelines? That if you do that, you might as well not begin. That's that. If you're interested in more testimonials, if this actually kind of made you think a little bit, video made you think about what it is you're doing in the trading space, want to actually get educated in the trading space, please like, subscribe, because I'm just starting and I need help. Andy, look out over the next couple of weeks for more testimonials. I got some monstrous testimonials coming up. I'm very proud of what my students do. I'm very proud of the work that I've put in this industry. I know you may not know who I am, but you will. As always, happy trading.
Gustavo, best teacher out there. Zap's way best program, best community you could join right now.